Hi, I'm Barbara Chase. Welcome to Channel 34, Senior of the Month for August 2019. And our Senior of the Month for August is Edward Mancuso.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Ed.
Nice to be here.
Nice to have you.
Thank you.
And congratulations on being nominated for Senior of the Month.
Well, it's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. Yeah, I don't like to say I'm a senior all the time, but it has its advantages, I guess.
It does.
Being Senior of the Month, my kids were proud of me, I think, and it's a nice honor. Thank you very much for picking me. I appreciate it.
Okay, I have some questions. We want to get to know you a little better. So I'm going to throw some questions at you, starting with where you were born, what year, how old are you? Get started with that.
Okay. Well, I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and I grew up in Brooklyn. I'm 74 years old. Moved up to Montclair in 1997. I've enjoyed living in Montclair, not only for the cultural part of it. The museum is wonderful. The restaurants are great. Being close to New York and being able to go to Broadway shows or whatever. And I actually, after retired, started working at the MetLife Stadium in the Meadowlands. And I did that for 5 years. And if you want, I can expand on that.
Okay, well, you're retired. What did you do when you were working?
Oh, okay. Well, I spent almost all my home career in the apparel industry. You know, they call it the rag business, the schmata business, the garment industry. But right in the Midtown Manhattan, everywhere between 34th and 40th Street and Broadway, I spent my whole working career in manufacturing and sales.
Did you run the gamut and different sales and?
Yeah, I started actually.
Buyer.
I started out as a buyer in Montgomery Ward, if you recall that company.
Oh yes.
Right, Montgomery Ward.
They're
for us seniors.
Still afloat.
They're no longer around, but you know.
Catalog.
They had catalog, and they had 400 or 500 retail stores also. So between J.C.Penney and Sears and Montgomery Ward, those were the three big companies at the time. Long before the Kmart's and the Walmart's and the Kohl's and all these other Targets and whatever, it was Ward, Sears, and Penny's. So we used to say Ward, Sears, and Penny's. So I went from Montgomery Ward, which was in the buying end, to the manufacturing end, and in Manhattan. And for a long time, I worked for small companies that actually produced women's clothing in New York City, mostly in Chinatown. It was fascinating to be able to see the finished product, the garments put together from the fabric to the trimming and everything, and make a finished garment and sell it to the retail stores that
local or
all over the country. We dealt with stores. At the time, there were thousands and thousands of stores to sell all over this country. Of course, they have shrunk, and the pie has shrunk, and that's why the industry has changed. So I spent quite a few years as the industry in New York got depressed and started to go downhill. I got my real estate license in 96, actually, 2006. I'm sorry, and I decided that would be a good fallback once I retired from the apparel industry. And then I was doing real estate here in Montclair for about 10 years, and enjoyed that quite a bit. I worked for Century 21 in Upper Montclair, and that's when I also started working part-time at the Meadowlands. So I did that because I liked football, and it was a good way to get to see football games. But I also got to see Bruce Springsteen, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, all these great concerts and soccer games. So the Meadowlands, which is only 10 miles away from Montclair, is, again, Montclair is so convenient to everything. So it was a great part-time gig to do that. So
then you retired from those part-time things?
Well, I kept the Meadowlands job up until this April, actually, just till recently. But I wasn't really geared to the real estate market, because it's a 7-day, 24/7 type of thing, and I like to do fun things. I like to hike, I like to horseback ride, I golf, and I bike ride, And of course, when
A
it's when the weather's
24/7
nice,
job doesn't
you can't do
allow
that with
you,
24/7.
no.
However, what I could do is go to school. And for the seniors here in Montclair, or if they don't know, if people have who have seniors in their family, Montclair State has a wonderful senior program, or a wonderful program for seniors, where they make it very affordable. And I went to Montclair State 4 years ago, 2015, and just by chance, I happened to be on the campus looking to buy some theater tickets, because they have a wonderful theater there. And I ran into a professor, and he told me about this program for seniors. And I said, well, I wasn't sure what subject I was. He said, well, what are you interested in? I said, I like history. And he said, well, they have a wonderful history program there, wonderful. And I said, well, that's great. So I got a hold of the admissions department. And I had gone to school in New York in the City University back in the 60s. And they were able to transfer a lot of my credits for the basic subjects from the City University into Montclair State. So I already started there almost as a junior. And I went and I took some courses. And this past May 17th, I got my history degree.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so I finally, it was a wonderful experience graduating from Montclair, and I had the cap and gown and did the walk and all just 2 months ago, not even. And
that must have been very exciting.
it was really exciting, and it was exciting because I have 4 grandsons, and they were all there to see their grandfather graduate college, and that was pretty interesting. And my family all came and supported me, and it was a lot of work. More work than I thought it would be.
Oh, I know.
Because I went to class with all the young kids. I call them young kids, and the teachers and they had a lot of respect for me, and we got along great.
You develop a different rapport with your professors.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We were on a first name basis when we were out of class, and I would go visit them and in their office and talk to them, and sometimes I'd see them socially even. So yeah, it was a different rapport. And
okay, now I want to add a different twist to your interview from the ones that I usually do, because you've done something that's very different from most of the seniors, Montclair Seniors of the Month that I've been interviewing, that we have shown to our viewers. The next question would normally be, what kinds of things have you done as far as community-based, activities?
Well, I volunteered at Tony's Kitchen for several years. The Tony's Kitchen in St. Luke's Church, downtown Montclair, is a wonderful organization.
Yes, it is.
Wonderful organization,
Yes,
and
I
really enjoyed the experience. It was such a rewarding feeling. They did lunches for sometimes 75, 80 people on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And I was on the Friday crew, and we had a set crew that used to show up on Fridays and feed people who came in. They're not necessarily homeless, but whoever needed a meal.
Right.
And it was a wonderful meal. It was a soup to nuts meal. They had appetizers and soups and salads and a hot dish and feeding everyone. And I enjoyed it. It was great. So Tony's Kitchen is someplace that's very special. Anybody can support Tony's Kitchen, do that. I also belong to Montclair Bike Walk Montclair, which is a great organization. I love to ride my bike around town. And they try to improve the bike lanes, and they try to make it really a bike-friendly community. And they've done a great job. And I wasn't on the board there or anything like that, but I participated in a lot of the events.
They're still doing new things with the bike lanes, in certain areas.
Yeah, and they're putting more bike racks around town where you can tie your bike up and stuff like that. So, and of course by the train station. So I did that, and I belonged to the Montclair Museum. I was a member there, and I also a member of the Commonwealth Club, which is a men's club.
Oh, really?
Are you familiar with them at all?
Yes, I used to belong to a women's organization.
Okay.
And we had a few luncheons there at the Commonwealth Club. But prior to that, it was like a very well-kept secret.
Yeah, very well-kept
And-
secret.
Right, and a lot of people still don't know that there's a bowling
Yep,
alley.
they have 6 bowling lanes in the basement there, and it's quite.
It's very
the,
nice.
the members think of it as a bowling club almost, you know, because
Really?
I mean that's what the president had mentioned at a meeting last year. He said, you know, this is really a bowling club, but half the people, half the gentlemen who belong to it, and it's citizens bowl, and half don't. But there's other events that they have that, in addition to just watching football and smoking cigars and things like that, because it is like it's nicknamed a fraternity for old men, you know. But it's very fun.
You managed to keep quite busy.
I'm busy all the time. It's true.
Tell me briefly what have you learned that from your life experiences that you can explain to me in a few words that are very important to you, and then tell me what is your mantra.
Well, I think one of the things you get from when you live in Montclair, and one of the important aspects of living here, is what a diverse area it is, what a diverse town, and what a diverse area we live in. I go to a gym in Wayne area, and there's every nationality there, and it's wonderful, I think, to be able to meet people from different walks of life and different ethnicities, and of course, going to Montclair State, we had quite a diverse student body, and I think that's important to be able to recognize that there are different people around. There are people from different walks of life, different areas, from different countries, and different nationalities, and everyone is. I try to treat everyone as I want everybody to feel equal, and to be friends with everyone. That kind of a thing. So that's how I try to be honest with folks. And at the Meadowlands, we had a lot of foreign people come there, people who were on vacation, foreigners from all over the country, all over the world, I should say, who came to concerts and came to football games for the first time. And we were trained, there to, our guests were important, and we wanted to make their first time at an event in the New York area, the metropolitan area, a very, just a well-remembered event, and something that they'd always cherish. And that's how I try to be, so.
Okay. Here's the twist. The last question that I would be asking you would be, what are your future plans for Montclair? But when I first talked to you, I found out that you flew away from the town of Montclair. So you don't have an answer for that question, but you have answered how you feel about Montclair.
Right. It's true.
Do you miss Montclair? Do you miss Montclair?
I miss a lot of things about Montclair. What Barbara's very true is that I just moved to North Carolina, as you know, only recently. Back in after I graduated, we had a nice party for graduation at the Commonwealth Club, and it also was a combination of saying goodbye to me and to my partner, Eileen. And it was a wonderful send-off in a way. North Carolina is my future, and we want to just relax there and enjoy the outdoors and spend a lot of time in the activities we like to do. But I will always miss Montclair. Montclair has so many beautiful, wonderful things to offer, and I'll try to come back and visit whenever I can.
Well, I'm very happy that we were able to catch you en route back to North Carolina from upstate, where you went to an event.
Yes, that's right.
So we were able to do this because we were planning on doing this for some time. And we will probably miss a lot of what you've done here, but I wish you the best of luck in North Carolina, and Eileen as well.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that.
That's our Senior of the Month for August 2019.